Team USA basketball. They got to stir up some drama. They got to stir up some drama with Paige Bueckers hitting a shot on Caitlin Clark. They got to stir up some drama, and of course, just setting both of them up to get cooked in the.
A video of Team USA basketball's practices was just released. Furthermore, social media completely lost its collective mind in a matter of seconds. During what was obviously just a routine exercise, Paige Bueckers stroked a single shot over Caitlin Clark, and judging by the outpouring of responses, you would honestly believe that someone had just won the title. But here's what's actually happening. When USA Basketball chose to release that particular tape, they knew precisely what they were doing. Perfectly. They are inciting conflict between two fan bases who already have a fierce rivalry on the brewing table. And they're doing it on purpose. Consider it. This practice video is what we finally get to see after 5 long months of Caitlin supporters fervently hoping to witness her play any sort of real competitive basketball. As was to be expected, folks went utterly crazy over it.
Like CC wasn't getting PB to turn over that ball last time like they played 3 times. Last time they played like 3 times. Yeah. Paige Bueckers thought Caitlin Clark was on her team. She turned the ball over so much. I hope you all are monitoring the negative, nasty comments from.
This is my question. I really want to know what you think about this question, so here it is. Why does a single practice shot during a regular drill lead to this much fervor and complete chaos? I'm really interested in what you think this whole incident says about basketball fans today and how we consume and respond to content. So please share your ideas in the comments section below. Here's what really happened. Practice videos from Team USA Basketball's training camp in North Carolina were uploaded. One specific footage, in particular, threw the internet into what I can only characterize as a complete and total meltdown. In what was evident to any basketball fan that was merely a routine defensive exercise, Paige Bueckers was able to hit a shot over Caitlin Clark. There was nothing spectacular or ostentatious about it, but when you take a step back and consider the wider picture, the emotions were immediate and, to be honest, totally insane. The story has gotten absolutely out of control, so let's be very clear about what we actually saw in this footage. People, this wasn't a high-stakes scrimmage with something significant on the line, nor was it an intense one-on-one match. It was a practice drill, simply a standard defensive drill in which players practice honing various abilities and managing specific game scenarios. Paige was able to fire a shot, and it passed through. Caitlin was doing what she was meant to do, playing defense. That's exactly it. That's the whole tale. Nothing more important or spectacular. The thing that truly bothers me, though, is this. When USA Basketball uploaded that particular clip, they were fully aware of the response they would receive. Consider it. Several alternative instances from that same practice session might have been posted with ease. Caitlin's famous threes from way downtown could have been featured, whether it's Cameron Brink swatting shots into the next zip code or any of the other exceptionally gifted players making plays that need to be highlighted. Rather, they purposefully selected the video of Paige scoring on Caitlin, and they had no doubt that it would result in enormous interaction on all platforms. The comment area instantly turned into what appeared to be a virtual battlefield, therefore the mission was also fully complete.
Oh, got you!
Supporters of Caitlin Clark came to her aid faster than you could blink. Their arguments truly make logic when you think about it. They were pointing out that Caitlin had been out for 5 months due to an injury, that this was just one practice possession, and that practice drills don't actually determine who is better. Meanwhile, Paige Bueckers fans started celebrating as like she had just won MVP of the finals or something. Pretending to be this one shot during a drill reveals something startling about the superiority of these two players. Both fan bases, meanwhile, seem utterly unwilling to acknowledge this reality. It's also aggravating, to be honest. Elite players consistently outscore each other, like all the time. When exceptional offensive players are matched against exceptional defenders, it is precisely what happens in any basketball setting. In that battle, the attack will sometimes win. Sometimes the defense will win. A single possession during a practice drill reveals absolutely nothing about who is the better player overall. However, USA Basketball expected this to become a big story because of the problem with social media. Nuance does not generate clicks or engagement. People are inspired to react and share because of tribal affiliation and hot takes. Comments like, "Paige is finally excited to win something," were made in place of a sensible conversation, especially when you take into account that Paige had been suffering with major career-affecting ailments throughout her college career that kept her from competing for championships due to no fault of her own. Then, we heard comments from the opposite team regarding their college games, where Caitlin's Iowa teams actually defeated Paige's UConn squad multiple times. For example, Paige thought Caitlin was on her team because she gave the ball over so much. This is exactly what USA Basketball anticipated when they made the decision to air the film. It's almost astounding how petty they are. Regarding this, they are neither naive nor credulous. They are aware of the fan bases, the already existing rivalries, and the massive attention that arises from even the smallest whiff of trouble involving Caitlin and other top players. All of this manufactured drama completely obscures what really matters for basketball and the development of these sportsmen. Caitlin Clark and Paige Buchers, two incredibly talented basketball players, are there to help Team USA prepare for challenging international competition against the best players in the world. They are not enemies plotting to do each other harm. They work together as colleagues to represent their country. The idea that we should utilize every interaction between them to firmly determine who is greater is extremely taxing and detracts from appreciating what we are actually watching. Caitlin was incredibly sharp on the practice tape after 5 months away from competitive basketball. She was playing defense with energy and genuine interest, shooting with that familiar assurance, and moving fluidly. Despite missing much of the WNBA season due to knee problems, she seemed impressively ready to compete at the top level. One commenter made a fairly solid point. "It's very amazing how involved Caitlin remains throughout the entire season despite being injured and unable to play." The mental strain of waiting on the sidelines when you truly want to compete is extremely challenging, particularly following an amazing college season and joining the WNBA with little to no rest before being made to watch from the bench. By continuing to be visually involved with her team, supporting teammates from the sidelines, and keeping a mental connection to the game, she showed genuine maturity and professionalism. Additionally, Caitlin was seen actively working on that end of the floor on several occasions in the practice video while maintaining a proper defensive stance. The false idea that she is a complete defensive liability has dogged her throughout her career. She is not the turnstile that some critics depict her as, but she won't be a top-tier defense either. She is working on defense during Team USA practice, which shows that she is aware that it is an area in which she can improve and that she wants to demonstrate that she can compete with elite players. Paige Buchers' attendance at this camp is actually very significant. After overcoming her personal injury concerns, she is working hard to regain her position as one of the truly great players in women's basketball. There was a lot of excitement surrounding Paige when she first arrived to UConn. She was anticipated to become the face of college basketball and its next big thing. After injuries completely altered her path, Caitlin Clark had already established herself as the dominant force in college basketball when she was finally well again. It's not at all Paige's fault. Injuries can have disastrous consequences. It does, however, create an interesting dynamic in which Paige is trying to regain some of the attention that Caitlin received throughout her injury-plagued season. One practice shot obviously doesn't accomplish that goal, but it gives her fans something to look forward to and heightens the rivalry narrative that USA Basketball undoubtedly wants to promote in order to boost fan involvement. It was exactly right to point out that people would make this whole situation seem weird. The entire conversation had descended into a full-fledged fandom war within minutes of the video's upload. Bashing the other player and standing up for your favorite took the place of any meaningful discussion about real basketball. Someone who is a fan of Paige claimed that if someone is freaking out over her cooking Caitlin in this video, it's because they don't understand basketball and are acting oddly. That's actually a fairly calm viewpoint in all this turmoil. Practice footage from a single possession doesn't prove anything. Both players have scored on one another during their careers. That's what elite offensive players truly do. They figure out how to outscore opponents, including very formidable defenses. It's completely accurate to say that Paige likes a good pump fake. That is a key component of her forceful approach. She is very skilled, astute, and skilled at finding space and firing her shot in tight areas. Caitlin also possesses an extensive repertoire of her own moves. The pull-up shot can be made from nearly anywhere beyond half-court, just 3 steps back from the ridiculous range. The ability to shoot and dribble from 30 feet away. Both are incredibly gifted offensive players with a wide range of ways to score. What's really frustrating about the whole situation is that, after 5 long months of waiting and wondering, we finally got to see Caitlin playing actual competition basketball. It goes beyond simply shooting off a rack in a vacant gym to work out with live defenders, make real-time readings, and take part in drills that simulate real-world game situations. That should be the real story here. Caitlin looks ready to compete with her back. Instead, Paige hit her with a practice shot, and the fan base that followed wore it in the comments section. USA Basketball was able to reach its target level of participation, but at the cost of completely fabricated drama in what should have been a celebration of talented athletes working together.